Nino.
Going on, SK?
What's going on, brother? How's things?
Been
busy?
Yeah. I've been little cooked the last couple days. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
Yeah, just long hours and shit. So I woke up today. I'm just like underslept, but I had like fucking business meeting after business meeting. So it's one of those days.
This one's a little less business, I guess. More.
Oh, trust me, I look forward to conversations like this. You know, fucking Excel sheets and PowerPoint presentations. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just cut right to it. Pretty much, we're at breaking point with the police, and how they're moving, particularly in the south side, even more specifically
What happened?
within Grove Street in our area. So, obviously, we experience a lot of drug busts, right? In the area, it happens. You know, they're gonna do their job. If they get a phone call that someone's selling drugs, they're gonna get the units and they're gonna come to the area. No problem, right? That happens. There's been a lot of times where we've been stepped to, they've come into the area, and then there's been repercussions. People have headed out on the streets. You know, there's been harm caused to officers, which, you know, seems to work for a day or two, and then it's just back to, you know, we'll get the units, we'll push in again, which, once again, can't get too mad because they're doing their job, right?
I know something about this, but please continue.
Yeah. As of recent, I'm going to just be very blunt about it. The way that they're moving is like they are...
Is this Den and TRT?
This is Den Shasty, TRT, and whoever else is available to attach and
so
shit.
Oh shit. Even Civ Gang's upset with him. You saw that?
But yeah, what they're doing today and yesterday and fucking as of late is it's not even just like the pushes or the trying to catch people in the alleyway. They are moving like they have FOMO, that they're not criminals. Like they are moving like gangs.
Yes. You are right.
They're talking like they're gangsters. We're getting into shootouts with them, or people are going to prison and they're talking about it as if they've just wiped a gang and it's some shit to be proud of. But I'm like, if you're a police officer that's been driven to shoot somebody, it's not something you're looking to do, right?
Yeah.
If it gets to that point and it escalates, then it happens.
But
why are people wearing it proudly and like almost like trying to fucking get into fights with us and shit? I don't get it.
I mean, say I'm just gonna say it how it is that these guys don't care if they die. I'm gonna say some things which I've been a bit more hesitant to because it's got a lot of implications and shit like that. But like, I'm gonna say some shit, right? And this is just how I honestly feel, right? So, number one, is it happening? 1,000%. I was in a let me put this on the table. I want LSPD to succeed because I see the other department filled with individuals that are creating a atmosphere of kill, go, arrest matter. They're just, you know what I mean? And that was my inherent motivation for putting Daisy into place, because she does believe in accountability. That's a big thing, but it's going to take her a while to cook. She's the only chief that I know that was behind a lot of firings over the last couple weeks, even though they're going to credit the marshals and fuck that. She took it by the horn. However, that doesn't mean that this UPD isn't going to influence each other. You with me so far? Now, very early on, I was stripped of my ability as the mayor to have any say in police matters beyond choosing a chief. Luckily, Daisy and Peters do work with me, right? And I don't see them changing that. So these particular concerns, I'm going to bring directly to them because you're not the first to bring it up. In fact, prior to you bringing it up, and I'm going to actually go through some of this because I think it's going to be relevant to you guys. Now, the second thing, I was in the car with Den doing TRT stuff. And even though I want LSPD to succeed with Daisy's vision, knowing it's the best for the city from a We don't need this RoboCop bullshit, right? Just kill and murk and some of the things you described. They are my second priority after the crews in the city. In fact, they're number 3. Civilians come next. Just put it out there. So if you gotta clap these motherfuckers, I ain't fucking blinking twice. You know what I mean? Third thing. When I was in the car with Den, I want to see how TRT operates. And I myself was a little surprised because they went to a drug call. I think we went to like Cyprus. And it was like, no drugs over here. Then they went to the SAC. No calls over here. I don't exactly know where they were going or what was directing them, but it was hunting, for lack of a better word. You with me? You see what I'm kind of painting?
That's what it feels like on the receiving end, though. It's like I'm seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 car convoys pulling up to the places and shit.
Oh yeah, they rounded up and they went. Under my impression, remember, I ain't got the radio. I've gotten it. I get it sometimes. They'll give it to me, but I wasn't at that time. So, but it felt like that is that they convoyed and then they were hitting these drug spots. Now, I know that this has been going on for a while, but now they're sort of empowered to do so. The thing is, even folks like Den are unfortunately negatively influenced by a culture in the PD that I wanted to get suppressed out of Los Santos County. But I can't do that anymore. I can't even tell Blaine to get the fuck out of here and let Daisy build up her vision of policing in Los Santos because the marshals and the judges took that ability away from me. The most I can do is really talk to them, but there is no, here's how it should be. Here's, you get what I'm saying? Maybe I can do it with legislation, but you can't. Even something as simple as, I'll tell you how bad it was. I have people calling me all the time and telling me that they're getting picked up down south and then to their face among each other talking about how much money they're bringing into the PD and how they're getting shipped up to the sheriff's office. Now, I get that they want their money, but to say it to somebody is fucking trash. You get what I mean? Like, it's like you're already
basically putting a price on that person's arrest, right?
Yes. Like for a big warrant, I get it. But to each and every person, the psyche that you're coming in with is going to make more of this them versus us. That fuck what with the truth behind like SK's arrest. This guy's worth like could be worth 50G. Look at what he's got on him. You know what I'm saying? Your entire like it becomes like a malicious arrest. It becomes a are you going after, you know, protecting the city or because it's going to get you a new interceptor? You know what I mean? And it's just, I was told I have no control over it. I could not even grant people in Los Santos County the option to not be brought north because that's police matters.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. It's
I mean, the problem is that TRT unit, the one that leads all this shit, is a very big mix of BCSO
correct
and LSPD, right?
And there's a lot of bullshit that happens behind the scenes, which I don't want to bore you with. But I'm going to talk to Daisy about it. And I think maybe there's something we can do to a degree. And even if that means encouraging that they shouldn't be fucking roaming, right? I've been in gang wars. You know what I mean? That's how you move. The way they were moving is how you move hunting for somebody. Except now it's drug runners. You know what I mean? It should be like, yo, there's a lot of activity here. Let's send someone and then roll in. Not let's hunt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Let's wait on a ping for someone to do a handoff and then push in on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know anything about these drones? Because I just when they just pushed us just then and they had all these units, I said to Dan, I said, "What's going on? This is the second time just today alone you've pushed in our alleyway. Like this is alien for you."
You had a drone?
And well, he said, and I quote, "This shit's easier now. We got new technology. That means we see everything." So like he hasn't told me that he was using a drone, but it doesn't take a genius, because I've heard they've got drones and they're saying
As
that they
far
can
as
see all this
I'm
shit.
aware, only the marshals have it. But here's where it's so SK. It is so fucked what's happening. I don't think I have much. Okay, you're about to get a lot of tea today. Marshals, as far as I know, are the only ones with drones. I can try to suss out whether the cops do. I kind of doubt it because I feel like I would have heard it at one of the meetings. I've been going to all the shift meetings for the past like week and a half. I haven't heard anything about it. I feel like someone would have told me. However, the issue is that these fucking bozo marshals, run by their bozo leader, has no problem with marshals going. Marshals were never given this ability. They keep encroaching into new shit to the extent that marshals are sitting in vehicles with cops, which means that when they're going into shootouts and you hit a marshal, rip bozo. They also oversee big investigations. They also oversee big gang things. So now what does that mean? All this tech that I don't give a fuck, SOP this, SOP that. Who's to say that they're not using their tech that was meant for like God knows what, like very like big shit is now being used for little shit. My own
So that would
cabinet
explain
member,
that, right?
Yep. And my own cabinet member, right, had his car stolen, reported it, went to the PD, no one was there. He noticed, oh, there's my car. He tracked it. He went to it, found it there, and he ran up to an officer to be like, hey, I don't, forget the 911. He got shot. Marshal sat there. You know what they did? Nothing. Cabinet member, one of the a doctor, wrote like probably a quarter of the legislation in the thing. They didn't give a fuck. They cover shit up
for shooting him.
They thought he was one of the shooters or some shit. They shot him and said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Nice.
Fucking hell.
So it's kind of like so and the problem is the mental is so like I don't want to say militaristic because that implies like patriotism and all these things. This is like fucking like the fucking you ever heard about like the what is it, like the Chechen armies? They go become like militia for like different countries and shit.
Not really, but
so
I'll follow.
like private armies, like
Right.
like the
Cartel
Wagner
shit.
group or like Blackwater, you know what I mean? They're just in there to fucking murk and make some money. That's what that shit is. You know what I'm saying? So
So the marshals, in theory, shouldn't be coming on a drug bust on, say there's two of our people selling in an alleyway. A marshal shouldn't be coming to that and using their equipment on a small scale operation.
that when you say they shouldn't be, that's kind of loaded a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't think they should.
There's nothing to say
Legally,
it's
there's
illegal.
nothing to say they can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there to prevent this over encroachment. I mean, I'm going
Who
to tell you
controls
how
the marshals?
Angel. And I don't know if you've seen the latest. You guys didn't attend my speech. It was very late. Go to losantos.me, and if you got time, listen to the little 30-minute speech I put out. I'll give you the TLDR. Marshall, Angel, you know how cops have been able to reduce fine and time? Like discretion, been itself. Dundee, well, it turns out I thought it was Dundee. Someone else on the same day, the night before, was in a gang shooting. They had 800 months, right? Peters was like, that's fucking cracked. We're not putting him in for that. Let's bring it maybe down to 200. They decided on 500. Someone told a marshal, who then told Angel. She came down. She's like, you're not allowed to do that. Peters was like, where is that written in legislation? And she blew up on him. And then while walking out, and I heard some of the convo, and then I heard her saying on the way out, that if you continue to do this, I'm going to file an injunction to do something. I forgot what it was. Like, get them fired, or you're not going to be able to do this, like some bullshit. Now, I didn't try to take sides right off the bat, right? In fact, I was like, this is heated. I'm not going to touch it. Like, it seemed really heated. So I'm like, okay, let me let this simmer and then we'll find out. Apparently then she went to Blaine County, told them the same thing, but there was no blow-up session. But these motherfuckers go and tell somebody, and Miguel goes and tweets it out that Angel did this. She then goes and says, oh, but wait, no, I'm actually writing legislation now. I know that wasn't the case because Peter's never told me this. You know what I'm saying? So there was no decision to write any legislation to rectify this problem and give the PD back the ability. She came in there saying you never reduce the sentences. This is my domain. Even though historically, since my time coming into the borders, right, that's never been a thing. PD's always been able to reduce shit. So I see this, I give her a call. And I'm like, what's going on with that? Like, can you give me an explanation? Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Power trip, power trip, power trip. I don't say this to her. Like, this is what I'm thinking. I'm hearing what she's saying. She goes and says what the PD's been doing, reducing times and fines, is illegal. And I'll fucking testify to it. She then also on Twitter says that me and Andy Jones are the ones that control the fines and times, not her. She's trying to point fingers at us. We haven't even been involved. So I call her out on that. I'm like, what do you mean me and Andy can reduce it? Why are you bringing us into this bullshit? She's like, yeah, you do. I control the fines. Andy controls the times with our sliders. I'm like, we can't. No, I talked to Soze about this. He either said, like, it stays, like, it doesn't work, or, like, we're not supposed to touch it. She's like, no, you can. I ask her 4 or 5 times, at the end of which she says, if you can change it, and if anyone complains, it's on me. I'm like, all right, bet. So I reduced the fines from 125% to 50%. Give back the people who are getting fucked in the ass something. I send out a state announcement. Everyone cheers, right? I reduce everyone's things by 50%. She calls me back and she's like, hey, maybe you should talk to Andy first. I'm like, what do you mean? It's my slider. I'll talk to it like tomorrow maybe. She's like, yeah, but for now, bring it back. And I'm like, it's my slider. Like, it was like, are you ordering me? She's like, no, I'm just suggesting. Phone call ends. I then find out people are tweeting, cop debts are now worth 1 across. I'm like, what the fuck? I open up my MDT. She's altered the fines to match where they used to be. Do you understand what I mean by that?
So she told you could change them, you lowered them, and then she
went
changed
and
them
edited
after the fact.
Yeah. So now the slider's at 50%, but she's now edited the martial ones and the cop killing ones to where they were previously. And then she gives me a call and she goes, I think you should move it back because cops are complaining their debts are worth 1 across. The only one who did it was fucking Ventura or whatever the fuck his name is. You know, the one deputy?
Yeah.
And this is a call she made 10 minutes later, which means he's the one that went bitching originally. He's the one that probably went bitching before that. Because I realized afterwards that, oh, fuck, if fines are 50%, Blaine County's not making any money off their arrests anymore. And they're broke as fuck. And so now I'm sitting over here and I'm like, listen, if the cops want to talk about it, I'm going to a cop funeral in 10 minutes. I'm going to come down here and we'll talk about it. And then we'll figure it out because I agree. And I'm like, why is this being framed into I'm changing it now because of cop debts when I'm just reducing across the board 50%? You know what I mean? Why are you entering, like, making it seem like I'm trying to get cops killed? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's 50 fucking charges. Where is this conversation coming up? And she kept pressing and pressing and pressing. And I asked her, are you ordering me to change this? Because this is my prerogative. I got to go to a fucking funeral. Like, and can you change back the charges? Because if I decide to bring it to 75%, now everyone's getting double the amount, you know? Because you've already fucked with the numbers, like in the back end.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, I'll do that like maybe later. And I can't attend the meeting and all this. And she gave me some bullshit. And I told her, I was like, do you even make any, do you ever use any logic when making decisions? And then she popped off. Because at that point, like the 4 weeks of dealing with this fucking bullshit, I just had enough. And so that's when the call ended. And then I went to the public and told them everything that's been going on, including her changing laws. Anytime she feels free, the encroaching she's been doing. When you look at the article on Los Santos, it's going to blow your mind. 26 pieces of legislation just randomly changed.
Who the fuck holds her accountable?
Nobody. I'm going to be that guy, though. And it's already in motion. Because this is a fucking democracy. And it's not a fucking police state. Or whatever fucking militaristic fantasy these guys have. And,
Because a few of our boys got sent up to jail earlier today because the cops came down on some bullshit trying to GSR test in Grove Street. Ended up in a shootout. 5 people got arrested, and each person got 500 plus months and 100K fines. And that, to me, that seems way more inflated than it used to be.
it is, because she never changed it back.
So have you put your end back to where it was?
Yes.
And she hasn't reduced
Because
hers?
she ordered me to do it. She ordered a mayor to move a slider that's under the mayor's control. Since when is she my caretaker? You know what I mean? But like, I'm not getting impeached and thrown into jail because she gets to write a new line in legislation giving her self-control. If Paps has, actually, this will give you the whole, like, full detailed summary, that video. Paps has given it around. There is no... we've been losing our mind in our office, gentlemen. Like, we've been dealing with this for a minute. It's, we'll try to push for change and, like, the legislation updates, right? We'll bring up an argument and it'll just be like, yeah, but that, look, let me give you another one. You know these VAF? Like, the auctions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the auction shit go up. Felons can't attend. And I look at the VAF law and it says felons can't bid. So I give a call to the justice and I'm like, why would a citizen of Los Santos not be able to attend the auction at minimum? Because why do they not get the transparency, even if they can't bid, right? And it was like, well, it's in the courthouse. The fuck does that mean? Oh, because they're felons. Oh, okay, you know what? Maybe they can attend. Okay, well, why did you originally say that, and why did you choose those words in the announcement? And then I go on and say, is this VAF thing even constitutional? Because it talks about the right to dignity, which is like everyone has the freedom to be treated equal. Why can a felon not bid? You're literally treating them as second-class citizens. And the response was, well, that's like saying felons should own guns. The Constitution doesn't let that happen. You see where I'm going with this? There is no... All I fucking know is that we fucking shot up this fucking city, every fucking legislator, because the Constitution was not being protected, and we're back at square one.
Seems like they're moving the goalposts. Like anything you're trying to do, you just...
That's it.
They change shit. I feel like this isn't the first time, right? Though, the whole time I've been around, I feel like there's been a lot of mayors that fall victim to the whole... Ultimately, there is always somebody who can just dangle shit in front of you. I mean, I knew Cranes who used to do that kind of thing.
Crane, I will give him the pass that I think that guy was in that seat longer than he wanted to. At the end of the day, there is accountability. I just don't want to get into the details until I stop. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of I'm making my moves. I'm putting my I'm putting my mayorship on this because there is no point for even a future mayor to come into position when judges / marshal / self-proclaimed demigod can literally do whatever the fuck they want. Because then there's no order, there is no sense, there is no logic, there is no constitution. And I will say that the amount of crews that already want to fucking blast up that place over just hearing some of this is insurmountable, but I don't think that's going to accomplish anything. You know what I mean?
I mean, if it goes wrong once, I've heard fines of like $1 million being thrown around. So,
yeah, it would just
if you
bleed
touch
us.
a marshal, it's just fucked.
Precisely. And it would just give the grounds for like the PD to play victim. You know what I mean? Or the marshals in this case. I mean, fuck. I don't. You've seen what Cypress has been dealing with?
No.
Some cop gets in front of a boat swimming. I guess the boat hits him or might have hit him. They blast him up. These guys go to jail. They want to go after this guy named Nakota. You know how I first heard about this? Blaine County is baiting their cop for the past like 5 days. And I even asked about this. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so you're telling these guys, here he is. You're dressing up like him and all kinds of crazy shit like this. And what, now they're going to be the guys at fault when they shoot and they hit the wrong target?
So it's the typical aggravating thing. That's what is kind of the main line of why we're here as well. Like, that type of behavior, it's like they're inviting us. Like, come on, come and get some. We're ready for it, you know?
That's how they get their interceptor, brother. Think about it. Then comes through, what, you shoot them? What happens? Big shootout, 20 cops, right? What do they lose? 30 minutes in jail? No. They get plus like, 100K to their bank account for another interceptor.
I mean, they made $500,000 off us today alone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Off one scene.
How, explain? I know you said that before, but $500,000, how?
5 of us got arrested for 12 attempted murders of a government employee.
So that can't
That's
stop at
$500,000?
Yeah.
It's 12 per person. So each person got 12 attempted. Plus whatever other stuff they had, like maybe, gun charge, painkiller, small things, but nothing crazy. We weren't running around with PD Glocks and PD armors and shit. It was probably makeshift guns with a painkiller or two and whatever else they done by shooting the cops.
Well, it's bullshit, right? It's oh my God, this just fucking angers me. Because I like, I know there's a lot of crews that are going to hold it down when they need to, but I've been around the block for a minute. People are not looking around trying to do hell weeks. You know what I mean? So to me, this is just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, and what pisses me off the most is that shit happened, right? I wake up to hear half my boys are in prison. I'm down in the south side. There's only 2 or 3 of us around because of it. The cops pull up again, 10, 15 cars deep. They're megaphoning at me saying that it was easy, that they fucking smoked my boys earlier on. They'll do it again. Like, just bragging about it, waiting for me to pull my gun and do something to him.
Yep.
And I've no idea. I've no idea who he is. I hadn't met him
PD
before.
gang did it, baby.
But like,
bro, that's
when
so
they come
fucking
down,
cringe. Let's just call it for what it is.
When they come down to my ends saying shit like that to me, bro, like, the next time they come down, I'm going to be 20 deep. Like, and for example, when the outbreak happened from Humane Labs, right? You came down with Dan in the car to our alleyway to tell us about it. Because of how bad things were, I'm telling you now, I had to stop myself from just pulling up and shooting all of you.
Yeah. No, and I believe
as soon as I see a squad car near the south side, my reaction now is to just not even give them an inch of space and just blow their head off.
I'm gonna talk to Daisy today. This is I had no idea it's gotten that bad. How often are people getting fucked with these kind of charges?
This is the first time today we've seen it like that. But to be honest, we haven't had a big cop shootout in a while now.
We avoid big cop shootouts. We usually try and retaliate on more isolated incidents. But sometimes you have no choice.
Sorry, give me just a bit.
We've been relatively lucky the few times we've had to shoot the cops in a large scale. We've come out on the other side of it.
It was honestly less than 3 hours. We 5 of our people was down $500,000, 500 months each. Less than 3 hours later, same group of individuals and the cops back on the block, doing it all over again.
It's wild. That's fucking wild. 12. Do you know if you're getting charged, like how they're figuring out the 12?
In my experience, it's they ask on radio who got shot at and they count.
This is the boring way to do it, but if you really want to do something, so I was told that it was Dundee. I then found out from Peters this morning that it wasn't Dundee that he dealt with. which meant there was 2 similar like 800-month situations that day. Now I'm hearing from you guys. It wouldn't surprise me if Cyprus had the same thing happen to them. What if all of y'all did a class, like flooded the docket with bringing into question how many cops actually got shot and make them prove it?
In like court type situation.
Yeah, I mean, you have one lawyer literally just contest it all. Like, yeah, I don't even think you have to do anything. It's just going to be like fucking 8, God knows how many of these situations happened in the last 30 days where you go back and you're like, well, prove 12 was shot. And then they're going to scramble and they're going to scramble. And then it's going to turn out your 12 was actually maybe 5. Cyprus, it was actually 6 out of 20. The Dundee was actually 5 out of 13. And now all of a sudden, it exposes their fucking bullshit is bullshit. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think they ever get pushback on that, right? So they can just...
I don't know. I will talk to Robin about it. And so this is just an idea I'm floating. Let me run it through Robin and see what he thinks. Because you might be right. It might just be their word against yours type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, they always push the limit where they feel like they can get away with it, right? And if it goes to... I mean, the other factor you got to consider is if Angel's the judge of the case.
It's just, man, it's just, I don't know,
How
man.
the fuck is she a judge while a marshal at the same time? Surely that's conflicting interest.
Bro, I don't even fucking know. Like I said, if you know the shit that I haven't talked about publicly for the past, like, 5-6 weeks, the shit we've had to deal with, people, it's hard for me to talk about it because it's so ridiculous. It feels like I'm complaining, but it's like, it's worse than what I say. You know what I mean? It's like, it's you know, like I told you, man, like it took us fucking 21 days to get businesses signed because of some like, you know, you deal with a fucking judge, like you see him for 4 days, they fucking throw like all these, I don't know. They're like, oh, well, I don't like this sentence. Oh, I don't like this period. Or like, hypothetically, if the aliens came down and, you know, you're encroaching on this, you're doing that, you're abusing this. And I'm like, motherfucker, I have literally not even, this is like the worst I've done is what we're talking about. Like, I literally have been clean. You know what I mean? Okay, I stole someone's SIM card once in the last 9 months.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So it's just, you know, I don't know. It just reminds me of back in the day, I opened a chicken factory and I had detectives on the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what's going on over here. I heard Nero's coming around town. I don't know. So,
yeah, I think if I'm being honest with you, I think I'm gonna have to speak to other people around the south side and make more pushback, however that may be, to the cops just rolling through as if it's just like another friendly neighborhood and going turf to turf and just seeing who they can score.
And I mean, we experienced it a bit too in our last war, right? Like, we had instances where we're mid shootout with another gang, and the cops roll up and quite literally just mag dump us in the back.
That's the other thing. I'm gonna just say it, yeah. Them motherfuckers are excited to get involved in those gang shootouts because they start, and then you look to your left and you're like, hold on a minute, that ain't my boy that I'm shooting the ops with right now. That's a cop. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, surely they should let the criminals take each other out and then clean up the mess. Particularly if it's in the south side.
It don't matter. They say that to you. They say keep it south of Olympic, and we'll roll in at a delayed rate. You go south of Olympic, they're involved off it.
And sometimes they do roll in at a delayed rate. It's almost like who's in charge at the time.
It's so inconsistent.
Because like sometimes we'll be in a shootout for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then when it quietens out, cops then roll in. That I have absolutely zero issue with that. But other times, shots are you fire 4 bullets, and PD are there instantly telling you, get the fuck out, stop shooting, or we'll shoot you. And then oftentimes it ends in you getting shot by the cops.
Yeah, it's I said this when I began to run for mayor is that I've never seen a more sorry state of a police department in my entire existence. And that's not, and I say that with a lot of thought behind it. You know, it's you know, the inherent why am I a cop is twisted, right? It's a freedom to be in a gang right now is the culture. I do think it's slowly changing, quite frankly. But the problem is that it's kind of like you might have 20% more level-headed cops that have the right mindset, but the majority are still kind of polluting the minds and have the power, and they're backed by effectively the state and the marshals. So, you know, it's just I think you guys should talk to some other crews. I would love to know like how bad it is, and I'm gonna talk to Daisy. Because
please do. Let me know how that conversation goes.
We'll do.
Because I think it's a lot of not everyone is aware of how it's being conducted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially these little comments like how claiming things was easy, like Steve was saying on the fucking megaphone and stuff. Like we're just getting away with that shit.
Yeah, no, it's just weird, right? I you know what I'm saying? You know you're gonna fucking die, but you do it anyways, type shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, my reaction to that is we didn't have people around to do anything about it then and there, so next time they do something, they're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna be like, why?
I have a certain amount of respect for, like, I've always held it, like, my opinion of it is if they're pushing, or they're trying to drug bust us, that if they come down with numbers, then it'll be respected. We'll get the fuck out of there, and we'll try to get the fuck away from it. The odd time they've come down, one or two people act like dickheads, they've been wiped for it. But if they're pulling up, numbers or not, running their mouth like they're gangsters, they're gonna get shot.
Yeah,
every
of course.
time.
Yeah. Fuck me. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna try my best. You know.
Yeah, it was more. I honestly just wanted to meet up with you and kind of vent it and just make sure these were things that you knew was going on. I guess.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I didn't fucking know it was this bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was running off that's a one-off situation. Hearing what you told me, what the charges are, I just don't even fucking know. I don't, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm okay. I'm gonna make some. I might pick up like the red telephone, to be honest. Hearing some of this. Yeah. Let me cook. Please do.
Cook.
Anytime, you know. Do not hesitate. You know, I need to know what's happening on the streets.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Appreciate you taking the time, Nino.
Yep. Anytime. Holy fuck. What? Wait.